In a seedy tavern at the edge of the frontier, a rumor cut through the smoke like a blade.
They said Captain Jiro would hang in 3 days. Traitor. I didn't believe it.
The soldiers at the next table toasted to the execution, laughing about the old man's face.
That captain never betrayed anyone. He gave me a death sentence, but a traitor?
The words pulled him back to that day, when Captain Jiro ordered him on a suicide flight.
Ren, you'll take the message through the Eastern Pass alone. Tonight.
He knew I would die, and I ran. I ran and let them call me a deserter.
But the captain they were about to kill had seen something in the core that curdled his soul.
He wouldn't turn traitor. Someone's silencing him.
He tossed coins on the bar and walked into the night. The fortress city was calling, and he owed an answer. The cold night swallowed him, as he followed trails only a deserter would know. Smugglers' paths etched into memory.
3 days until the noose. The patrols will be thick, but the old routes never change.
He bypassed the main gate entirely, slipping through a rusted drainage grate at the city's edge.
Still the same. They never sealed this entry. Sloppy as ever.
On the wall, a poster showed Captain Jiro's face crossed out in red. One word below, traitor.
They've already executed him in propaganda. The city's been fed lies for weeks.
He pulled a dusty cloak from a laundry line, wrapping himself in anonymity as the market crowd thickened.
Keep your head down. Find the records. The execution drums won't wait.
The clock tower struck the hour, a countdown to the gallows. The crowd's murmurs felt like accusations.
I didn't run then to let you die now. Hang on, Captain. I am coming.
The records vault loomed in the administrative sector, its lock still keyed to an override code he had once memorized for emergencies. Inside, the archive hummed with sleeping data terminals. He slid into a chair and began typing.
There, my name. But the file says executed. They buried me already.
The suicide mission file was layered over a classified operation log. The route was a decoy, the real target, a hidden outpost. A deeper folder was labeled Project Wrath. Inside, schematics for a berserker toxin, designed to turn dragons into weapons of mass slaughter.
So this is what he found. They're planning to unleash this on the core.
He copied the files onto a data chip, hands steady despite the weight of the discovery. Boots echoed in the corridor. Guards. He pulled a vent grate free and hauled himself into the shaft just as the door crashed open.
Too close. But now I have the truth. The captain was right to send me away.
The chip burned in his pocket. Digital proof of a conspiracy that had already claimed one name and now hung another from the gallows. Ren descended into the underbelly, the air thick with the musk of old dragon roosts and forgotten wings. In the bioluminescent glow, a scarred orange-eyed dragon lifted its head. Scorch, alive and waiting.
You stubborn old beast. They told me you were dead, but you waited. You never gave up.
He opened a hidden saddle compartment, pulling out a metallic capsule, the physical toxin sample. A blade stopped at his throat. A gruff voice cut through the darkness.
I knew you'd come back, deserter. The captain's execution brought you crawling home.
His eyes are blind with loyalty, but I won't spill old blood.
Ren twisted the blade from Hakuro's grip, then slammed him against the cold stone.
The truth is on this chip. Read it, then decide if I am still the traitor you remember.
Scorch launched into the underbelly tunnels, leaving Hakuro alone with the data and a choice he never wanted. The capsule was useless without a key, and the key required an ally he didn't have. Ren surfaced in the old tea house district, a ghost among ruins.
The resistance used to meet here. Maybe someone still watches.
A stun baton hummed to life behind him. A young voice, sharp but trembling, forced him still.
You are the deserter. The one from the posters before they pulled them down. She's barely old enough for the uniform, but her eyes are steel. I am not here for a fight. I need to reach Captain Jiro before the execution. Why would a deserter help a condemned traitor? Because the traitor is the High Command. They're poisoning dragons. The captain tried to stop them. Prove it. Show me the evidence.
Ren held out the capsule and the data chip. Saki's baton lowered as the truth sank in. An alliance forged in dust and desperation. At the next bell, Saki led Ren into a maintenance tunnel beneath the prison. Damp, narrow, and alive with the hum of old pipes.
Stay close. The guards change in 10 minutes. That's our window. One slip, and we're both dead. Trust her, Ren.
They emerged at a checkpoint. Saki flashed a forged badge with the practiced ease of someone who had done this before.
Medical transfer. He's a contracted specialist.
The high security wing swallowed them in silence. At the last cell, Saki bypassed the lock and stepped aside. Captain Jiro hung from chains, beaten and bruised, a ghost of the officer who had once condemned him.
What have they done to you? You have 6 minutes before the patrol. Don't let him die in here.
The cell door shut behind him. Ren stood face to face with the man who had sent him to die.
You came back. Ren.
You don't get to act relieved. You sent me to die.
That flight was a decoy. I needed you to vanish, to carry the toxin sample out before they destroyed it.
He wanted me to desert? The whole mission was a setup.
I planted the capsule in your saddle. The mission was a gambit to smuggle the evidence through you.
You could have told me. I spent years hating you.
If you knew the truth, you would have tried to fight. They would have killed you.
Ren's jaw tightened. He pulled a small laser cutter from his belt and began slicing through the captain's shackles.
I haven't forgiven you. But right now, we both want the same thing.
The chains hit the floor as the distant sound of boots echoed through the corridor. Time was running out. Ren pushed the cell door open, but the corridor was already lost. 3 guards had Saki pinned against the wall, the muzzle of a rifle pressed into her temple.
Run. Don't worry about me. Just go. Don't let them win. I can't leave her. She trusted me. But if I stay, we all die.
The captain's hand clamped onto Ren's shoulder, dragging him backward into the cell's shadow.
If we fight, we die, and she dies with us. She bought this chance. Live for her.
Ren's fists clenched, but he allowed the captain to pull him into the vent shaft, the metal grating cold against his fingers. Through the slats, he saw Saki being dragged away, her head high, her eyes unwavering despite the blood on her lip.
This isn't over. I will get you out. I swear it on my life.
She's a soldier. She knew the price. Now focus. We have a conspiracy to break, and a monster to expose.
I'll hold you to that. When the dust settles, we rescue her. Together.
Under bioluminescent fungi, Ren cleaned a wound on the captain's shoulder. The silence between them was heavy.
Kuro plans to release the Berserker Dragon during my execution. He'll call it an accident and purge every dissenter.
A toxin-maddened dragon in a crowd of loyal soldiers. It would be a slaughter.
The capsule you carried contains a biological key. We can synthesize an antidote, but it requires a lab.
Then we find a lab. I won't let him turn the core into a graveyard.
There's an old bio lab in the industrial sector, but it's under heavy guard, and we need a biochemist.
No allies, no time, but I've come this far. I'll find a way.
You are still the same reckless fool, but you are the only one who can stop this.
Ren pulled his cloak tighter and stood. The captain watched him with a gaze that held both guilt and a sliver of hope.
Rest. I'll be back before the execution drums start. And then we end this.
Ren found Hakuro in a low tavern off the industrial docks, more bottle than soldier, staring into his own reflection.
You again? The deserter, come to rub salt in my wounds.
He's broken, but he might still have honor buried under the guilt. I need your help. Saki is in Kuro's hands, and I need a lab to make an antidote for the Berserker toxin.
I know a place. Old medical research wing, but it's still patrolled.
Kuro led him through forgotten corridors into a dusty biolab. Ren's hands moved fast over the equipment, the capsule's sequence unlocking the formula. A single syringe filled with glowing green liquid, the antidote synthesized just in time. Boots pounded outside, guards. Hakuro shoved Ren toward a rear exit, drawing his blade with a grim finality.
Go. I'll buy you 3 minutes. Don't let her die in there.
I'll remember this. I'll come back for you both.
Ren returned to the underbelly with the antidote, but the captain's expression was unreadable.
We only have one chance. I'll go to the gallows willingly, give myself up to Kuro.
Are you insane? He'll execute you on the spot.
Number. He wants a public spectacle. The execution is his stage. That gives us time.
While the crowd watches you, I rescue Saki. That's a suicide feint.
I started this when I sent you away. Let me finish it. I owe you a debt, Ren.
He's willing to die to atone. But if I fail, he's dead for nothing. Fine. But we do this my way. I launch at dawn, inject the dragon, and we get everyone out.
We'll sync our chronos. When the drums beat, you fly. I'll keep Kuro talking.
The captain clasped Ren's shoulder, a silent promise passing between them. Dawn would decide everything. Dawn bled orange across the execution yard. The captain walked into the open, arms outstretched, surrendering, without a word.
I am Captain Jiro. Take me to Kuro. The traitor deserves his audience.
Soldiers dragged Saki onto the platform beside him, her chains clanking against the wooden planks.
Soldiers of the Dragon Corps, today we purge the rot. The traitor Jiro and his accomplice will pay for their crimes. Let this be a lesson. Defiance against the Corps is defiance against order itself.
The drums haven't started yet. Hold your position. Wait for the signal.
From a shattered archway high above the yard, Ren mounted Scorch, the syringe of antidote tucked against his chest.
This is it. Don't look at the crowd. Trust the plan. He'll come.
Kuro is stalling for the dragon. He doesn't know the antidote exists. We still have time.
The executioner stepped forward. The drum began its slow, steady beat. Ren's hand tightened on Scorch's reins. The drum beat was the signal. Ren kicked Scorch into a dive, shattering through the archway in an explosion of stone and wing.
Saki, Captain, get down.
Ren slashed through Saki's chains, then the captain's, as Scorch scattered the guards with a sweep of his tail.
Fools, if you won't watch an execution, you'll witness a purge. Release Vex.
The iron cage burst open with a shriek of tortured metal. A roar split the sky as Vex, the berserker dragon, tore free. Vex crashed into the crowd, talons gouging stone, toxic saliva sizzling on armor. Soldiers and civilians scattered in panic.
That's Vex, Scorch's old clutchmate. The toxin is burning him alive from the inside.
Ren, the antidote. You have to get close, or this whole yard becomes a grave.
The soldiers can't hold it. People are dying. Ren, do something.
Ren pulled the syringe from his chest, its green glow a fragile hope against the berserker's red-eyed rage. The clock was now a countdown to massacre. Ren landed on the blood-slicked stone, walking straight toward the berserker. Vex's red eyes locked onto him, poison drool sizzling.
Vex, remember the hatchery? The scar on your shoulder. You got that pulling Scorch from the fire. You are not a monster.
For a heartbeat, the berserker paused. A flicker of recognition wrestled with the toxin's red haze.
Ren, now. While he's still.
Ren leaped, dodging a barbed tail, and drove the syringe deep into Vex's flank. The green formula pulsed through the dragon's veins. Vex convulsed, a roar that shook the courtyard. Then he collapsed onto his side, chest rising and falling in slow, steady breaths.
He's breathing. The toxin broke. Ren, you did it. Vex isn't the enemy. Kuro is. Where did he go?
Through the settling dust, a dark red uniform vanished into the administrative complex. Kuro was fleeing. Ren stood over Vex's silent form, the empty syringe in his hand. One dragon saved, but the master was getting away. Ren's eyes snapped toward the administrative complex. A dark dragon lifted off, General Kuro in the saddle, fleeing toward the mountains.
Captain Saki, mount up. We're not letting him get away.
Scorch launched into the air, Saki behind Ren, the captain gripping a rifle. The chase began among the spires. Kuro's dragon was swifter, but Scorch knew every alley. Ren wove between buildings, cutting off escape.
Keep us steady. I'll draw his fire.
The captain's shots sparked off Kuro's mount, forcing it lower. Ren pressed the advantage, diving through a plaza.
The bell tower. If I can force him into that narrow pass, he'll crash.
Scorch slammed into Kuro's dragon, sending it spinning. The beast flailed and crashed through the ancient bell tower. Stone and dust erupted. Kuro was thrown from the saddle onto the shattered rooftop, his dragon crumpling below. Kuro rose slowly, a small detonator glinting in his hand. His cold eyes met Ren's. This wasn't over. The rooftop was a stage of ruin. Kuro brandished the detonator like a final, poisonous argument.
This detonator is linked to the armory. One press and the city burns.
Then you'll die too. Is that the legacy you want? A crater and a lie.
Legacy. I'll be remembered as the one who cleansed the corruption. You are just a ghost.
Saki crept along the ledge. Stun baton set. She had one clear shot.
Don't miss. Don't miss.
The energy bolt struck the detonator, blowing it from Kuro's hand in a burst of sparks. Kuro screamed, clutching his hand. Before he could move, Corps soldiers surrounded him, rifles poised. The city's screens lit up with the captain's evidence, Kuro's orders, the toxin data for all to see. The Dragon Corps saw the truth. The old command crumbled as the soldiers seized their own general. Captain Jiro climbed onto the shattered podium, the screens around the city glowing with the evidence he had risked everything to expose.
The suicide mission wasn't a flight of death. It was a gambit to smuggle the proof of Project Wrath out of the Corps. General Kuro injected our own dragons with a berserker toxin, turning them into weapons. I chose silence to save the Corps from itself.
He's confessing to sending me away. Publicly. The deserter's name doesn't matter. Only the truth.
The soldiers in the yard lowered their rifles. Some wept. Others threw down their insignia in disgust.
Listen to them. The Corps isn't beyond saving. They just needed the truth.
Junior officers approached the captain with urgent offers. A new command, a seat on the Reformed Council.
I refuse. This uniform is stained with the blood of dragons and soldiers I couldn't protect. I am done with command.
He's walking away from everything. But I still have a choice to make.
The captain's words ended the violence. But for Ren, the real battle, the one with his own past, was only beginning. The captain found Ren sitting alone on the broken execution platform, staring at the empty nooses. Without a word, he removed his insignia pin and scraped the red desertion mark off with his knife.
This was your name, crossed out. It's time to erase that stroke.
I don't want rank or a uniform. I just wanted the truth.
You deserve it. The Corps owes you a debt.
I didn't come back for a medal. I came back because you weren't the traitor, and I wasn't a coward.
He pushed the pin back toward the captain. Their eyes held unspoken years. The captain extended his hand. Ren took it, a grip that said more than words could.
Consider the debt paid. Just don't do it again.
The captain gave a faint smile. For the first time, the weight between them lightened. Ren found Saki in the medical tent, her arm bandaged but her spirit unbroken.
You are leaving, aren't you? The Corps doesn't need a ghost. And I don't belong in uniform anymore. You saved us. You exposed the truth. The Corps will remember you as a hero, even if you won't wear the pin. I don't need their memory. I just needed to know that the captain wasn't a traitor, and that I wasn't a coward. Take this. It's a recording of today, so you won't forget what you did.
Ren took the crystal, its small weight heavier than any metal. He tucked it inside his cloak.
She's stronger than she knows. She'll rebuild this place. Maybe better than before.
Outside, Scorch waited. Ren mounted, and the dragon's wings stretched toward the open sky. The captain stood apart, watching. Ren raised a casual salute. The captain returned the gesture, a final silent acknowledgement. Then Scorch launched into the golden dawn. The city shrank behind them, and the cool wind of the high country washed away the smoke of battle.
I used to think I ran because I was afraid, but I ran to survive. Today, I flew to save.
A line of covered wagons crawled along the old trade road, refugees fleeing the chaos, children clinging to their mothers.
They have nothing. Just like the old couple I helped on the road years ago. Maybe I can do something.
He guided Scorch lower, pulling a small bundle from the saddlebags, spare rations, a few coins, a clean bandage. Ren leaned from Scorch's saddle and let the bundle fall. It landed softly by the lead wagon, raising a puff of dust. The refugees looked up, startled, then waved with quiet gratitude. A child's hand reached toward the sky.
This is what I want my name to mean. Not a deserter, just someone who helps.
He returned their wave with a two-fingered salute, then urged Scorch upward toward the rising sun.
I am not the captain's soldier anymore, but I am not lost either. For the first time, I am exactly where I need to be.
Months later, in a quiet tavern far from the fortress, a young recruit leaned across the bar, eyes bright with borrowed courage. Have you heard the story of the deserter? They say he came back from the dead, exposed the toxin plot, and tamed a berserker dragon with his own hands.
It's strange to hear yourself become a story. But maybe the truth needs a little myth to survive.
The recruit leaned in, voice dropping to a whisper that carried across the room. They say he rides the last uncorrupted dragon, a scarred beast with orange eyes, seen at dusk over the refugee trails. Ren placed a coin on the bar, the sound swallowed by laughter and clinking glasses.
They don't need to know my name. The legend is enough.
He slipped out the back door into the cool night, the stars sharp above the mountain pass. Scorch was waiting, his massive silhouette blending with the shadows under the cliffs. Without a word, Ren mounted, and the two of them vanished into the night, a ghost and his dragon, already becoming myth. Scorch climbed through the moonlit clouds, wings cutting through the cold silence. Below, the world was a patchwork of shadows.
I once thought I was running away, but every flight since has been a return.
The horizon began to glow, a thin line of gold that spread like a promise. Dawn was coming. Ren's face was peaceful, eyes fixed on the light. The weight of red ink had been lifted. He was struck from the Dragon Core roll with a single stroke of red ink. He returned to clear a debt he never owed, and in doing so, freed the very core that had condemned him. The Dragon Core remembers the deserter not as a coward, but as the one who broke the chain. He asked for no medal, took no rank. His name was never restored to the record, but his truth echoed louder than any order. And as the sun rose, the silhouette of a scarred dragon dissolved into the light, a wanderer who had finally found his way. The deserter's flight was over. The legend had just begun.